So you'll notice coming up in the life of our church for the next 2 weekends, I'm really excited. There are children's and youth events coming up, just as a way to sort of rally our kids. And I promised you in the past few weeks that over the next 3 weeks that we would be sharing with you big picture, where are we headed as a church announcements. And so this morning I want to start with one of those, and I want to talk specifically to our kids. So kids, if you're here this morning, I want you to know this. You are such an important part of our church. We really love having kids at Homewood Community Church. You all may not know this, but when we launched this church, there were more children in here than adults. The team that helped launch this church, there were more kids, and I'm talking 5th grade and under, than there were adults. And so we decided, and we were committed, that if Homewood Community Church was going to be true to our mission and vision as a church, it meant we were going to have a really good children's ministry. And so this amazing group of women got together and started dreaming about how to start a safe nursery, and started dreaming about curriculum that we would teach our children. And they started putting together policies and procedures for how to fill those rooms with kids down the hall. And it was just amazing to watch how God sort of put all these women together that just made it happen. But we knew when we started that we were going to need to hire someone, that we would get to hire someone to oversee all these ministries. And so because our mission and vision is to be a community church in Homewood that loves our neighbors and loves our place, we have the privilege of hiring someone to be our children's ministry director. And I've already introduced her once, but I want to keep introducing her to you because I just want y'all to see her and I want you to hear from her. So Mary Hannah, come on up. And y'all just do whatever you can over the next few weeks to just say welcome to Mary Hannah. We're so excited that she's here. I'm going to let her share some of her thoughts about what, and you know, hey, it's COVID and there are just things that are going to look different than what we thought. But we're so excited that Mary Hannah is a part of our team now, and we're so excited what she brings to the table. So I'll let her speak.
Thank you. Yes, I'm Mary Hannah. I just moved with my husband back to Birmingham. We love Birmingham and Homewood. Was in Tuscaloosa doing college ministry, working for RUF. Loved it, and actually texted Tom that we were moving back, and he said, you know, here's the deal. We have a church. We know we're in COVID, and people are scared to hire new positions, but we think that we need to fill this position, and we want to bring somebody on. And so I said, okay. And children's ministry was not where I thought the Lord was calling me. And I met some awesome women, and I talked with Tom, and it was his vision for the church, and knowing that there was such a need here that really just stirred my heart that I wanted to come here. So before I say anything about my role and my vision, I have to just say the women that he talked about who started and launched the nursery and the children's ministry have been incredibly inspiring to me and have done such an amazing work. And from the very beginning, I said my role is to come along and collaborate with them. I'm not, and will never claim to be a professional person of ministry and to take over this ministry. So I just want y'all to know, thank them for all that they have done, because my role would look very different if we were starting from the ground up because of what they've done. So like Tom said, we do have a lot of children here, and I think one thing kind of big picture for me is the rhythm of church looks different now because of COVID. And so really just inviting them back in when we can launch the nursery, and having young children get to come to children's worship and have a Bible lesson that they can understand. Because I think more than knowing the attributes of God and more than knowing Bible stories and where all the books are, I want them to know Christ. I want them to learn what it likes to have a relationship. And we can't do that without the awesome adults here who volunteer. And I just think when Hunter and I started coming to this church, we instantly felt known. And I know that that is a foundational part of who this church is. And I want the children to experience that too. I want them to come and have, hopefully one day, a Sunday school teacher who can just say, hey, how are you doing? How are things going? How did your test go? How did your game go? And really care for them. I want them to see their Sunday school teacher out and about in Homewood and get excited to see them and have a relationship with them. I want it to be a mentorship. And I think that that can start from a young age, and that y'all can grow together in those relationships. And I think most importantly, with volunteering, I want them to get to hear the gospel from somebody other than their parents. I want to equip parents to teach the gospel to their children at home, but I really want them to be able to have a parent in their Sunday school room who's saying, you know, this is how Christ has impacted my life, and to have a relationship, to see that it's not just their parents, it's other adults that they can look up to and have a relationship with. And so I think kind of small picture, nitty gritty, we're working on starting the nursery back up, and we want to make it a safe environment, because I know that it's hard to have children sit through service, and we've tried to equip them. And so look out for emails on that and ways that we're going to get that started. And then we're hoping to start children's worship back up, to give them a time where we can dive back into the curriculum that's come out every Sunday in the family worship. And then we're also looking forward to ways to start a Sunday school program, so that kids can have a dedicated time in their week to be with other kids, to be mentored by adults, and just to be cared for and have a place in this church. So that's kind of what I have.
Thanks.
Is that good?
Yep. So good. Y'all, I'm so excited about Mary Hannah. Y'all have heard me say, and I'm going to say it again later, that we're playing the long game here. And so I have this vision inside of my head that the children are going to grow up in this church. And adults are going to pour into the children over the long haul, to where they grow up to love Jesus more than anything else, and they grow up to love the local church. Won't that be exciting? So anyway, so excited Mary Hannah's here, and that we could share that with you this morning.